effort to stab President Trump in the back and play politics with their crappy coffee, Starbucks has been on a Muslim refugee hiring frenzy in recent months that has epically backfired. After 10,000 Muslims were given jobs as an act of resistance against Trump's migrant ban, a watchdog program that performs consumer affairs on popular businesses discovered fecal material in numerous samples of Starbucks coffee. As the coffee giant defiantly moves to hire even more refugees, despite what was just found in their coffee, unfortunately, poop in coffee might be the least of our concerns after what was just discovered in California. On Tuesday, Starbucks held a hiring event exclusively for Muslim refugees in San Diego, with the coffee franchise proclaiming their intentions to hire more than 10,000 refugees at baristas across the United States over the course of the next 5 years. But unfortunately for the remaining Americans who aren't scared to sip on possible crap-contaminated coffee, consuming Starbucks could now be fatal. 21.4% of Muslim refugees in the San Diego County carry tuberculosis, a disgusting disease that infects the lungs and is easily spread through the air by speaking, coughing, sneezing, or spitting. The location that Starbucks is picking their Muslim workers from is in San Diego County, a place where this highly contagious disease runs rampant throughout the Muslim migrant community. Research by a prominent doctor by the name of Timothy Rodwell, who works as a professor and physician in the Division of Global Health at UCSD, warned of the rampant TB after screening Muslim refugees in San Diego. He noted that this leading refugee resettlement site poses the highest rates of active TB in the entire country, where Breitbart reports that an astounding 1/4 of these Muslims have the disease. Pamela Geller weighed in on the massive threat that these Muslim workers pose to the heath of Americans who will now be sneezing and coughing over steaming hot cups of coffee at Starbucks across America, saying, in other words, the incidence of active TB among the 4,280 refugees who were resettled in San Diego County between January 2010 and October 2012 was 327 per 100,000, more than 100 times greater than the incidence of active TB among the entire population of the United States in 2016. She went on, about 4% of the entire population of the United States tests positive for latent TB infection. Around 10% of those with LTBI will develop active TB at some point in their lives. The triggering mechanism to activate latent TB is not entirely understood. But high levels of stress, crowded living situations, poor public health practices, the presence of other diseases that lower the immune system, and behavioral conduct such as smoking appear to increase the chances of activation. The 21.4% of refugees in the San Diego County study who tested positive for latent TB infection is about 5 times the national average. Breitbart News reached out to Starbucks to inquire if safety measures were being put in place in the form of mandatory testing for latent and active TB in their Muslim workers. But predictably, the liberals running the company have no time to respond to a conservative news site. KGTV reported about 30 Starbucks managers will conduct on-the-spot interviews at the International Rescue Committee's office located at 131 Main Street in El Cajon from 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. on Tuesday, August 8th. Applicants are encouraged to visit Starbucks' online career center prior to the event and bring resumes along with them. The store managers will talk to the refugee applicants about what it's like to work for Starbucks and review qualifications for the barista position. The world's largest coffee chain said it would focus initial efforts on markets where refugee need is greatest and there's a store base to meet the need. According to state and federal data, San Diego fits the bill. No other California county has received more refugees during the past decade than San Diego County. In 2016, San Diego settled 3,100 refugees, along with 520 military interpreters on special immigrant visas. It's absolutely disgusting that Starbucks would gamble with the lives of millions of Americans in order to make a political statement with their products. But if consumers are willing to ingest tuberculosis-infected coffee in order to show their solidarity with Muslim migrants, then perhaps the weeding out of the gene pool is something we should celebrate. The less morons running rampant and destroying our country, the better.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face. Tell me that you love me, even if it's